What's going on, Divine Collective? Welcome back to the Oracle's Desk. I am the Oracle, and this is my tarot station where we delve into the beyond, actually. And we have been besieged with fairy sign. I don't know what is going on. This is the earliest I have ever had this much fairy sign in the season. If that kind of tarot reading sounds interesting to you, well, then you are in the right place. Let's let some stuff on fire. Let's sit down. Let's get into these energies. Let's talk about it. Now, the fairies that we were visiting before, they've already ended their war. Now, the fairies are clansmen and ladies, and they are always in a war of some sort. And usually these wars can last all summer, but this one particular war, maybe it's because we're there to counsel them, collective. I don't know, but seeing fairy sign now inside the building. So we're going to see what the fairies are up to, shall we? I know, what a weird thing to read. I know, but I get messages for all kinds of critters and beings. The weirdest that I get are the light beings. That's a whole other topic. Now, this deck is rather large, so I don't know if I'm going to be shuffling it how I would normally shuffle a deck. Because, I don't know, but I'll try to see if we can get some cards to fall out instead of just splitting the deck. Because I don't know, I feel both are always, to me, legitimate. But some people are very particular about how they accept cards and don't. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Let's see here. So, we're leaving the Glen. We're going to the City Fairies. These are the fairies that you will find around you if you are in the city. Oh, that's too many fairies. That's too many. I'll look, though. Look at this. 10 of cups. 10 of coins. I'm going to put it out, fairies, but I don't want to. There was the 4 of cups and a tower. So there's something about this tower and the sand castle the fairies want you to pay attention to, okay? Hold on, let me go get my pointer, because these are small fairies, and they're wiry, and they move around. Okay, collective, okay. Let's see here. What are you monsters up to? Okay. There's something about the sand castle here and this tower. It's giving mountain out of molehill. Like, I feel like somebody's having a very immature response to tower, because they could be, really have all this, right? Let me see if you can see this better. You've got this beautiful 3 of cups here, 10 of cups, 10 of coins. I mean, that's ultimate life fulfillment, right? In finance and emotion. And the 3 of cups to me is they've come together. So this fairy magic has been working around you for quite some time. This is generation. You have generational fairies. You have generational fairies. I'm getting almost like, what are they called? Like Dobby. House elf. You have a house elves? Do you believe in house elves? Oh my God. I haven't thought about house elves forever. You know what my favorite house elf was? Oh, sorry. The cobblers, the man with the cobbler and the shoe, and he would go to bed. This was a story my mother used to tell me when I was little. I think it's Dutch. And he used to go to bed, and the gnomes or something would wake up, and they would make the shoes for him. And it was like this arrangement they had. You may have heard stories like this before from a family member. This is something handed down. Whatever it is, you've made this sandcastle into a tower. It really wasn't that big a deal. You were holding on to something. The fairies are going to tell us. Where are they? Oh, here we go. Now, usually these fairies don't come out until at least midsummer, but since we're already at a fairy war collective, I mean, these clans are all different. Very, very different. Let me see here if these are right. No, those aren't right. Nope, these are right. Okay. All right. Let's see here. What is going on with the city fairies? Fairy deck. You should tell us what's going on here, please. Let's see here. Ooh, your strength is awakening. And look, 11, 11, 12. Ooh, I like this. And you guys, I don't know if you caught last night's Aliens and Everyday Objects reading, but there was something about the talisman that you have on the seal of your home or something you wear over your body, a seal of your temples that we are supposed to be paying attention to, because they're going to give us strength that we need to have to get us through we're supposed to navigate something. Something's coming and we're going to be tested. Our ethos. The lion and the lamb. Can you subdue these two with strength or emotional inner strength, especially inner strength with all this hangman, hang fairy here? This emotional strength is the key through the door. Also, the key through the door is where you're deriving this emotional strength from, your ethos, again, your talisman. For this false tower. Let's see what the fairies are doing in these other images now. Excuse me. I've had this feeling for a while. Especially this morning, because I just had the good fortune of running into some really lovely women at a swap that I had the other day, a song swap the other day. And I was thinking how these women in my daughter's generation are really put down a lot because of a few. Because usually when I run into them, they're some of the most wonderful, lovely women, so intelligent, and just wonderful to see growing up and coming into their own. No envy or anything there. Just admiration. So there's something about this fairy, there's a reluctant energy to be generous with the youth. This is emotional generosity and this is financial generosity. You might be, let me see here. Yeah, this tower that you're dealing with is I don't want to say withholding because, yeah, for winter. Something is holding on. Something's holding on and resistance. Something's at a pause here. There's a failure to be generous emotionally and financially. I also feel like the fairies are like, you need to talk about it. Like you're supposed to come with someone, you know. I remember having a conversation with my ex's, one of his family members, and I was actually, frankly, fairly horrified by how much they were meddling in the younger generations and like causing division and things like that. When it's like, you know, if you're going to want everyone to come together and hold together your legacy, you know, causing a lot of drama and stuff around us is not good. Mm. These fairies are very entangled in these family matters. These are family fairies. I'm telling you, there's something strange about that. These family fairies, these family gnomes or something. There also might, and I'm going to say this, and I don't want to scare you, but sometimes, even with you're dealing with ancestors, you will have or could resonate is having an energy in your field that is not there 100% for you. Okay? Something in someone that is a lingering energy that isn't really helpful in its direction, things like that. You may have one of these spirits, not ever saying that a fairy spirit is malevolent. Sometimes they are. Don't tell them I said that. This is not a good energy, this one right here. He's like a Kreacher, maybe. And I don't know if it's for you to cure him or for you to send away. This could be an energy that would like an offering, possibly, that you haven't given it offerings to, or in the spirit of house elves, you're not giving it instruction. And it's just running amok and doing whatever it wants because it doesn't have someone there to say no or yes. Hit subscribe if this is resonating with you on any level. And just remember, I'm a random on YouTube. But I will say that I felt like I had a malevolent karmic ancestor spirit, and I did send it away. And I'll tell you what, things did get better for me after that. So you are welcome to send these energies away. You know, but the fairies are usually pretty good about getting a bad one out. So this might be, again, I have said many, many times, in America, especially because that's where I live, hit subscribe. In America, we are all different kinds of cultures, but I can tell you, most of us come from a place where we had ancestor altars. Okay. This could just be a place on your mantle where you have your Grammy and grandpa's picture. Leave your grandpa's favorite cookie out. Leave your grandma's favorite cigarettes out. You buy one pack of Luckies, you put one out a year, okay? I'm just saying, like, we need to start leaving offerings because this could be that as well. Let's ask the fairies. Let's ask the fairies. Anything else? Little monsters? Oh, no, I mean that. Look, Hangman again. Something about that. Let's leave that out too. Okay, what did we got? What are we doing? What is the message? This is them crying over me saying. I distinctly recall seeing this fellow, the King of Leaves. He's a handsome fellow, isn't he? What a distinguished nose, Your Highness. Oh, the magician. El Bagato. The Knight of Leaves. No, there's something about these that go together. Bells. Judgment. And the Unrequited. Okay, let's put these together. 3, 3, 3. Some unrequited love here. It doesn't feel romantic. It feels nostalgic. Hold Hold on. Okay. And this feels overall messagey. Okay, now let's wimple out of these little monsters what it is they're trying to tell us. The city fairies are here collective, and it looks like just in time. Now you may see fairy sign around you. You'll see a little light twinkling off on the edges of your eyes. Things like that. Let's start with the magician because I feel like he is the most ridiculous. The Great Wizard. The Great Wizard. Represents enterprising spirit, ability, cleverness, and diplomacy. Always in every enterprise. He's engaged. He's rejected suggestions and prejudices. Yep. Rejection. Cast out magic. Death head moth. 9 of leaves. What is that? Acorns, hearts, leaves. 9 of leaves. Nightmares troubling the sleep of the fairies are considered bad omens, barest of woes and suspects. The fairies have been having bad dreams. And I believe the magician is here with the owl to cast them out. I will get you an owl card and we will come up with some kind of get the hell out of here energy ritual. Because you are a king, you are a sovereign being. You are cultivated and a wise man, and it is possible to address for advice. Cleverness and activity. We definitely want to get into this King of Leaves energy, like I said. I don't know if banishing's the right thing. I feel like with this hangman coming up twice, we're waiting for him to come up with what it wants or needs. Okay, hold on. Let me just take a second with that because that could get a little dark. But the fairies are not dark. Let's get 5 of heart. I'm feeling here unrequited love. Something wants love. It's not getting love. I feel like that could be the ancestors, but let me look. Couple more cards. The temperament of these creatures is very vulnerable. Relationships with fairies often mean unjust fears and possible loss. Yeah, the card warns of this risk. And then 6 of bells. Solidarity and appreciation among fairies. This card represents given and received help. Yep. Okay. This is the help that you have called for. You, I am going to tell you, have some kind of little, I don't want to say nasty spirit, but you definitely have a bad house elf or a bad house fairy. Now, it could be a Kreacher, I'm not sure. But there's something about this little nasty elf that is souring relations in between your family. I feel like this energy is attached to the masculine side of your family. I feel like it's most heavy around the holidays and days that you have significant amounts of magic working in your home. It agitates it. I don't know why. Now, there are several things you can do if you have a spirit around you that you don't want. Now, this is definitely not anything to be afraid of. It could just be a bad, nasty saying someone has that they say all the time around you and your family. And it kind of brings a hamper down. It could just be a general attitude. But I do see that this judgment is going to bring you from the 5 to the 6. You are going to move up very quickly through this emotional stuff once you get it out. Now, I'm going to say this, it's going to be weird. You may want to deploy bells around your home. Bells are definitely energy lifters, spirit lifters, and just every once in a while, even a gong. Just walk by, ring the gong, walk by, ring the bell. You can ring my bell. Blow the horn. Especially at dusk. Why is dusk significant? It's the veil's thin. Okay. I think it just needs cheering up. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it needs all out banishment. Use your own discernment. You might not feel anything at all. Really only take this if it resonates. But if especially you have a lot of crazy stuff happen at family gatherings when everything's supposed to be nice and calm and perfect, and there's just that one little thing, you may have a nasty house elf. You may be Indian, Irish, or any kind of Northern European anything. I would not say Native American. I would say no to Mexican and Spanish. This is very Northern Hemisphere issue right here. Except for India. I don't know why India keeps coming up, but it's important. Okay, let me get an owl. Well, do we need to banish? I don't think there's anything to banish. I think ring bells at the dusk. That's what I said. Let fresh air into for the spring, and then leave an offering around the holidays for the energy so that it doesn't feel this left out anymore, because it feels left out. There might be something that it used to get all the time from a family member, like you could do a elf on the shelf. Okay, I'm telling you, these energies invite other energies in. You put things in your home because you're remembering something, and it's when you're playing is when this memory starts to come up. So if you have a big thing, if you've got a million elves on the shelf, you probably have an energy like this there, and it is wanting for you to leave an offering. This feels very familiar. It feels like it's an inherited energy. These energies might start coming back stronger as people start to get more in touch with their magic. You may resonate as someone who's been getting more in touch with your magic, especially if you've been in a lot of hermit mode energies where you've been sitting and waiting and gathering strength and focus. Because whatever this tower is, it's not a real tower. It's a sand castle. So let's keep that in mind too when we're dealing with an energy. But if you do feel like you have an energy about you do not like, you can always do. These are just my options, but there are other people that are by far so much smarter than I am, so much more talented, so much more interesting. Hit subscribe, collective, if you want to help the less fortunate ones of us. That being said, where are you? And I felt like I had a malevolent spirit around me. You only need to say that it can go now. You relieve it and ask all the ancestors and energies around you that are positive and high vibrational to ask it and push it out and get it to leave. If it's something that doesn't leave like that, you can go to your priest or your pastor or whatever. Yes, they understand what I'm talking about, and they will know what I'm talking about because all of us are practitioners, believe it or not, and they will be able to help you with that spirit or energy, especially if you're Catholic. Some good holy water. Sage works really well, but just remember that when you light sage or you do things like that, you are opening a portal. Even when you sneeze, you're opening a portal. So make sure that you have intentions when you are speaking and giving instructions for this thing to leave. That being said, if this reading resonates with you, I don't think this energy is that being. I feel like this energy is a family house elf. I feel like it's like a Kreacher. He may have been you may have had a family member pass away recently in the few years. My condolences. That being said, this person may have been what we would call back where I'm from crotchety. Okay. And this crotchety person could have had an effect on this energy. So, I mean, you can Harry Potter love Kreacher, and this is what you've inherited, and you're going to try to cheer him up. If those are the things you want to do, of course, if you have instincts on things that it might need, listen to those instincts. Listen to those instincts. You need to play in this energy. You're a very magical creature. The more you play, the more in touch with your magic you'll become. I don't know how much these things will start to show up in our home. The closer we get to magical energy, the closer we get to understanding what it is and being able to lift these veils. That being said, collective, I believe that you are having an awakening. I believe you need to look to your talisman for guidance, and I believe you need to have a good time and play a little bit. These city fairies are much different than the country fairies. I don't know. This is one particular house. This home is significant. Ah, that's why you're here. Oh, this home is significant. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Who are you? Oh, you know what? This is the wrong deck. I know what deck I need. I'm going to find out who you are. Where's this energy come from? These city fairies. Because we're all mixed up here in these cities, you know, and these fairies, they start blending together and you're blending families and you have no idea, you know, karmically you marry in. So all the energies that are coming with the person you're with and you're having children with, they're all in your home too, and you're feeling them. You are holding the place of the female in that line of high authority. Who are these people, please? This might go totally left, but we're already 25 minutes, 26 minutes, and why not one other minute collective? Why not? Especially if this is resonating. I may not be allowed to know. You're a clan, just like the fairies. You're clanned up. You're clanned up. It's funny, too, because I just met a man the other day who was Irish, and he didn't know that the Irish have tartans. And I said, yes, Irish have all the same stuff. Wow. Okay. It could also be a golem. You may have a golem. Now, people usually that have golems, they say they're Jewish, but this is not just a Jewish thing. This is a Middle Eastern thing. So you could be Persian. That's why these energies are coming up, because there's great, crazy unrest in those areas right now. And this energy is moving. I don't know what this is, but this looks like a magic guy, right? Like, we're looking at like two magic guys, like big deals. The ancient Israeli civilization and the Persian civilization. These two civilizations have warred for a very long time. They're also extremely connected. They're also family. You may be a Jewish Persian, like Shah Sunset. You had someone in your family on both of these sides, and you probably got married, and these energies are like, who the fuck is that? Oh, hell no, I don't like her. You know what I'm saying? So this is very cool. I'm going to look up what Vizier is, but I got a feeling it's probably one of those like Zoroastrian priests or something. So I'm going to look that up. With that hat, in these shoes, I don't think so. In that hat, I absolutely think so. Hit subscribe, collective. All right. Well, whatever you are, whatever your decision is, do the best thing for you and your family. Remember, these energies are around. You can ignore them all you want to, but they are not ignoring you. And on that note, good luck with the fairies in the city.